guys, welcome to Becky Tarot. My name is Becky. I'm a spiritual advisor, clairvoyant and energy reader. So today's video is going to be, we're going to be discussing star seeds, right? Now there's a lot of star seeds out there, but I'm going to go with giving you the most common ones. And you're going to see if any of these resonate for you, can help you get to know who you are and where you're from, and some more depth about you, and open up those doors. If you kind of feel pulled to this video, you're more than likely a starseed. But yeah, so it's to give you some information. This is going to be part one because it's late, I'm tired, and I already started this and then baby cried and I've had to like stop that and go again. So yeah. So we're just gonna run through these three most common ones, and then I'll do a couple more in our part two. I'm just gonna kind of give you information a bit about them and like kind of their characteristics and stuff, and you can see if it kind of resonates for you. Don't just listen as well. Like for me, I'm a Sirian, and if I hear information about a Sirian, like my body kind of like vibration kicks in and I'll hear things. And when I did the first video, second I started talking about Sirian, my ear was ringing, like, and they were like, yeah. But yeah, so just kind of, as I'm kind of giving you information, see how your body reacts and see how you feel about it. If none of these resonate, don't worry about it, check for part two. If not, don't stress yourself. You might find that you resonate with some things in more than one of these star seeds. That's completely fine. Everyone's lived lots of lives. Well, not everyone, but people have lived lots of lives, and that can come into it if you've been on different planets as well, your soul. So you kind of feel a connection in that vibe as well. Don't sweat it. I'm a Sirian, but I resonate with some stuff in the Pleiadian. It's just how it is. But I am a Sirian, okay? So, what should we do first? I think I'm going to do the Pleiadians because I think they're one of the most common. So yeah, Pleiadians, I feel like they're one of the most heard of star seeds, and they come from the planet Pleiades, which is located like next to Orion's belt, and these beings kind of exist between the 3rd and the 9th dimension. One thing that's known about Pleiadians, they are normally like tall, slim, skinny. They have like long limbs, very fair skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, or like white hair. If you resonate with everything and feel in your knowing that you are Pleiadian, it doesn't mean you're not because you don't look that way. I am sure, like, you choose your form and human body lookalikes when you come down, okay? You choose that. So I'm sure there's Pleiadians out there that maybe were like, no, I'm gonna rock the dark hair and this body shape and whatever. I'm sure there is, but because obviously when we come down here, everything gets wiped. You have no memory, so that you can live the full experience of a human experience. If you remember everything, it would be pointless, wouldn't it? So it's for growth and things. Like obviously, like people like me that wake up, there's for reasons, but I'm sure I don't know anything and everything. I just get the downloads that I need and whatever, right? But yeah, so Pleiadians, long, tall, white hair, normally structured like cheekbones and jaw, just popping blue eyes, and yeah, like they have a kind of like, their aura is very just like pure, like even just, it's like an elegant vibe, but they can feel very childish because Pleiadians are like literally the youngest souls in the whole of the galaxy. So that kind of comes through in how they are. Like they're childish, but it's like an elegant childishness. I hope that makes sense. It's like because they will look angelic as well. Pleiadians look angelic, and they kind of are. Just everything in how they walk, carry themselves, talk. It's very angelic, and because of that, they have a very high like sex. They're like quite sexual. They've got a high sexual magnet, yeah. But they're unaware of it. Pleiadians, like because of their nature and their pure loving light. Pleiadians have like just all main heart chakra. So they're extremely loving and innocent and angelic, but unfortunately that tends to mean that they attract energy vampires, narcissists, because they just kind of, they want to heal and they want to help heal people. So they tend to be yeah, they tend to like just attract people like that. What else do we know about Pleiadians? Yeah, they attract people that are just tend to be broken. Their heart chakra, they tend to be empaths, and one thing that's known about empaths is they just attract people that want to be healed, that are broken, because they feel their pain and they want to help. They want to help and they want to heal. But this whole sexual magnetic charm, honestly, they're just completely unaware. But one of the struggles that they tend to have, like when they come down, most of them is like the self-worth issue. So they have this huge sexual magnetic charm that attracts like energy vampires and narcissists, but they tend to not have, like, they tend to need to learn self-worth and to they tend to just, it's crazy because they're so angelic, they've got this whole like beautiful nature, and then they also have like this sexual magnitude, but they're just like oblivious. They're trying to help everyone, but shit people are like, well, not shit people I was gonna say, but people that haven't worked on themselves and need to like look at themselves and reflect, they're just out there, the Pleiadians, like trying to help, and it's just not happening. Pleiadians tend to just put completely other people's needs completely before their own, and they tend to not be able to speak up for what they need. They'll just kind of suppress their own needs and wants for other people's. It said that the Pleiadians inspired Greek and Roman culture. So a lot of Pleiadians will be really like creative and artistic. So like singing, music, dancing, drawing and painting. It's they'll also, like, you might find if you're a Pleiadian that you're just kind of interested in like Roman or Greek mythology, drawn to it. It's just like, if you've got, imagine you've lived past lives helping and involved in the Roman culture, and then you're in this modern day world, you're going to feel that your soul's going to be pulled to want to know more about it. And that's kind of the universe showing you when they do things like that, when they pull you to certain things. It's like, oh, look at this. This resonates for your soul, yeah? Yeah, they tend to have low self-esteem. We've done that. Pleiadians, because of this, they have because they struggle with self-esteem, they go to escapism. So Pleiadians tend to use drugs, drink and video games or books to escape everyday reality, okay? They're really dreamy and in their head and idealistic. They have a tendency to avoid conflict, like anger, anything that's proper heated. Like, those are the kind of people that will just walk off because they can't handle like bad energies and emotions in themselves. They don't know what to do with it, so they just don't like it. Hence, because they're a young soul and they're childish, angelic, light, loving, all heart chakra, they're the people that will just walk off. Like, they ain't gonna say nothing, they're just gonna remove themselves from it because they just cannot handle like the bad emotions that come with that. Pleiadians, they just can't at all. That's kind of like the main characteristics of Pleiadians, I find, anyway. So take that, see how you feel about Pleiadians. But yeah, I mean, the whole look for me, like if someone says Pleiadian, I literally just see like tall, massive angelic eyes, blue, like white hair and skinny. Just, I don't know. So, second most common is the Lirian. Is that how we say it? Lirian, sorry, starseed. Planet of Lirian. These are the ones, so their home planet was destroyed in a battle against the fucking reptilians. So, unlike other starseeds, like most starseeds, the Lirians won't feel like drawn to the stars or like space, because that triggers their deep knowing that their home planet was like destroyed. So whereas like all other starseeds feel really pulled to the stars, you know, like space, not saying like I'm not into space, but you know, I can feel pulled by, well, it would make sense for Sirian, by stars, and have that kind of vibe. Lirians won't have that at all, really, because it just makes them sad about their home planet, because they just know it was destroyed, and it's like a memory trigger for the soul. So because of the Lirians will have harder finding their galactic origin because of the war, makes sense. Living this, oh yeah, so because their home planet was destroyed, they kind of went off and lived on different planets, so they will struggle to feel like, to figure out and feel where their galactic origin is. Like for me, it just, Sirians resonated, I feel pulled, it makes sense. But if you're Lirian, you might struggle because you've had your planet and your home planet destroyed, and then you've gone and joined other planets and lived in another different vibe with other different species. So it's jolted kind of what in your soul, what you feel home is, and kind of, so when you come down here you might struggle as well to kind of where you feel pulled to, because yeah, they've lived among other species. The Lirian people are mainly, oh yeah, so the Lirian people are mainly lions, like lions, but cats and bird people, believe it or not. But they do have a humanoid like appearances. So if you kind of look in the mirror and you think you have like cat or bird like features, crazy, I know, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there, if you are this, on your face, then it's likely that you're Lirian. Like, I suppose, yeah, that's quite, I could see how that would be a thing if you look in the mirror and you see if you're cat like or bird like, what kind of fits for that, like how when you look in the mirror you see that. Yeah, so unlike the Pleiadians, Lirians don't touch, drink and drugs to escape reality. A lot of the time they indulge in food, drugs and alcohol because they want to feel the 3D human experience. So rather than, whereas the Pleiadians are like trying to escape, it's like an escapism, the Lirians will just indulge in it because they just want the full experience, like the full human experience, because they're one of the oldest souls in the galaxy. Oh, and they've just mastered the 3D plane, so they're like, they'll jump in, fall into that, like, but they're not trying to escape it, they'll just jump into that and own that, like the drink, drugs and alcohol. Lirians are usually, yeah, bold in their looks and their sexuality. Like, so think of like people that are just bold in how they dress and like strut their stuff and how sexual and whatever. They are not unconfident with their physical body. They will be confident and strut their stuff. Now, Lirians, the difference between these and the Pleiadians is that where the Pleiadians are like shy, they have that sexual magnet, but the Pleiadians like angelic and don't really unaware of it. Not the Lirians. They like, yeah, they'll use it for their best interest. Like they'll be like, yeah, I look good, so what are you gonna offer me? Like they're just confident up front with their sexual magnetism. They embrace it. They're not shy at all, yeah, about their physical appearance. Lirians tend to be pulled towards being influential and leadership roles because they just like to be confident and a leader, like because that's just what they project. So yeah, leadership roles all the way. But they tend to have Christ Saviour like complexes. This is because they will genuinely feel like, oh, the weight of the world is on them, and it's like the weight of the world is on their shoulders, and it's like their responsibility to save everyone. So it's a different type of energy to like loving and wanting to heal. It's like the whole world is on my shoulders. I must help everyone in this world. Do you know what I mean? It's a very different energy. This is funny. So obviously, if they're mainly cats and bird people, when they come down into the 3D, they tend to be very clumsy and like uncoordinated in their physical body. Just because you've got to imagine if you're a cat and you're used to like just landing on your feet all the time and whatever, and then you're a human and you're like you will find that they struggle. Yeah, completely. Like they'll just be tripping over their own feet, knocking stuff, like they just can't really grasp their human body a lot. Lirians will trip over their own feet, knock things over. I remembered that. Universe will remind you. Oh yeah, so there's just saying like, so the universe tends to want to give you reminders of who you are and where you're from. So if you're a Lirian, you will find that it's really random, but you might see like birds or cats or images of birds and cats a lot. If you're involved or having tarot around you or involved in tarot or ever have a tarot reading, you will find that the strength card will always come out, because that's the tarot energy trying to show you who you really are. You may have a strong affinity towards like large cats or birds, but especially large cats. So things like there was a Lirian lady that said she had a tattoo of a tiger on her arm, and she got it like a few years back, and she was like, I don't even know why I got it, like I knew I like tigers but I just wanted it. And then she found out years later that she was a Lirian starseed, and she was like, that makes so much sense for me. Like she was always drawn to big cats and tigers and lions and stuff. So you might find that you're pulled to that, and that you want, like, you end up getting tattoos of like animals like that. And one of the more like, I don't know, let's just say negative side of Lirian starseeds are that they're really kind of like creative, but they're not very, like, they're great at being creative and starting projects, but they just really don't seem to be able to finish them. They're those kind of people, like they'll start it, they're fully into it, but they just don't seem to have it in them to ever finish it. So yeah, take that one if that one resonates for you in the whole Lirian vibes. And then let's move to the last one I'm going to do for this video is myself, Sirian starseeds. So I'm going to run through one of the main characteristics and stuff in this, and then I'll tell you kind of how that involves me and the things that I found. So they are from Sirian starseeds, which is the brightest star in the sky. The planet is mainly made of water. So on the planet there are a lot of mermaids, dolphins. So because of this, you will find Sirians tend to want to live near like oceans or just water, like rivers, anything really. They'll be pulled to water in general, but might want to live near water. Tend to be, so you'll find that maybe as children, or like we tend to have a deep knowing of like interest in mermaids, or just believe in a deep knowing that there's definitely mermaids out there. Yeah, that's quite common for Sirians, obviously, because you come from a planet where they are. The planet's very diverse though, like there was bird people, mermaids, lion people, and other aquatic beings. It's said that the Sirians came to, this resonates to me as well, to ancient Egypt as godmen and godwomen and helped build the pyramids. And you will find, if you're a Sirian, that you're just naturally intrigued by it. Like you might really want to go and visit Egypt and see the pyramids, or you might just like researching them. And which also resonates for me is that I've flashed and seen past lives of me, like literally in Egyptian times. And I've just seen so much of that and seen my counterparts in Egyptian times. So yeah, that's it. And before I was even awake and I went through my ascension, I did always find the pyramids really interesting. I always just say that I really would love to go and see them. So that resonates for me. Sirian starseeds tend to be really identify with witches and wizards. We tend to be into witchcraft or manifestation rituals, so like crystal rituals, moon cycle rituals. Again, it's very common with me. Yeah, just that whole vibe of manifesting and using energies. Now, Sirians are known for on their planet teaching metaphysics to literally the rest of the galaxy. So I mean, even what I do when I give my readings, I'll talk like I'm dealing with energies. I'm always trying to teach people on energies and how they can manifest their life. And so it is said that on our home planet, that's what we do for the rest of the galaxy. We teach them how to manifest and pull in their energies and use it to help them. That's what we do. But it's a very magical, so you might find in the 3D realm, you really like magic, you're drawn to magic, witches, witchcraft, that kind of stuff. Unlike Lirians, Sirians, we don't find pleasure in the 3D world. We actually really don't. We're just bored with it, and this makes sense, is basically, we live in our head. We completely live in our head because we are bored and we don't like the 3D world. We're very serious. So we'd rather be in our head than here, because this is more appealing and interesting to us than this. Yeah. Most of the time Syrians have loner-like personalities and will generally just prefer to spend time alone. We don't like to be out partying all the time. We just don't. Yeah, I would consider myself quite a lonely person. Like, I could just trudge through life on my own. I mean, you need connections for certain things, and you need connections, but I could, and I like my own space a lot. Like, I have to be on my own a lot, and I'm quite happy on my own, like just in my own vibe. A lot of Syrians are, like as children, because of the whole in our head vibe and hating the 3D, they will tend to be diagnosed with ADD or ADHD as children, because we're so in our head and daydreaming, and we really are careless and unaware about our surroundings because we're uninterested and bored with them, because we hate the 3D world. You probably, if you're a Sirian, you've probably at some point been told that you're an old soul, or you feel like you're an old soul, and that's because they're like, well, we have we're just very serious. We just have a serious like nature. That's how I'll explain it. Like, that's our nature. It's serious. We have no time for the bullshit in the 3D world. Yeah, so the old soul thing is very common. We are very deep, and you'll get that, and people around you, like, like the eyes are the window to the soul. Like, it's like known, if you look in the eyes of a Sirian, like, there's so much depth behind us. We're just very deep people. But one of our things that we have to work on down here is the act of forgiveness. It's like our main thing, because where we're so serious, we have such high morals, and we just struggle. Like, we have high morals and high integrity, and we just because not a lot of people can live up to our expectations, and we find it really fucking frustrating because we have such high morals and integrity, but no one around us seems to have it, and we get really irritated. Another reason why we just fucking hate the 3D. It's like, why? Like, we're serious about our morals, which is so me. I really am serious about morals. Like, I go up and over, and I get really triggered when people are just act in a certain manner. I just cannot deal with it. It's not okay and not acceptable in my eyes at all. But yeah, it's one of the, like, you'll find that if you know a Sirian, very good friends or partners, because we have high morals and high integrity, like, and we are what we are. You know where you're at with us. You know we're not going to shit on you. So yeah, make very good friends. But because of how we are, we can be really slow to open up, because we don't like, it's hard. We like our own space because we can trust us, and we've got our back, and we have our high morals and integrity, but other people don't. So we don't really want to let them in, because other people don't have our high morals and integrity, and it's fucking annoying. But yeah, like, we are warm, likable people. We just have that guard up. We're naturally very good teachers, but because out on our home planet, we are teachers. We teach all the different beings in the galaxy how to kind of manifest and use energy. So it's literally like in our blood, if you say. Tip is to find, yeah, I've already said that. Like, we help teach other people, which is what I do always at the end of my readings. I tell people how to manifest. We just, yeah, we struggle because not everyone shares the same integrity as us, and it's very frustrating. So those are the main things on Sirians. So also to add in with me, like something with myself, I really express myself with hair colour. I change my hair all the time, and that seems to be a factor. I'm sure it's not everyone, but it seems to be a factor with Sirians. Like, I don't know what that is behind it, but for some reason, a lot of us do. And there's, yeah, we just tend to be changing our hair colour and all the time. But that's it. So if that's it on the first 3, I will do, hopefully get part 2 up tomorrow, and I'll go for the others. But yeah, like I said, you might find you resonate a bit with some others, but that's fine. But see how your body feels when I've been discussing it, and kind of chucking things out there, and see how you feel. But that's the part 1 on what starseed are you. In the meantime, I send you so much love and light. Bye.